What is up? It is Iron and Think. We are back for episode 13, the big 1-3.
Isn't that a lucky number?
Actually,
is that 13?
Sure.
we debated this actually.
I'm gonna say
with
yes.
James. James and I said yes. James
with
from
yes.
Throw the Fight. I
Throw
don't
the
know.
fight.
Throw to fight.
It could be unlucky, lucky.
I think it's lucky. We'll just go with lucky.
Okay,
But
yeah, that
also,
works.
too, we kind of missed a week, so we apologize.
Well, there was a lot of shit going on.
A lot
that
of shit
week.
going on.
Out
I
of
was
town.
traveling, and then Colin got ill, a little sick, and you can't have your host of the podcast being sick.
I was fine.
Well, not to mention we had a.
You were screen print.
I'm gonna say, not to mention we couldn't have even filmed that if we wanted to. There was a fucking blizzard
Oh, yeah.
last week,
Yeah.
so like,
Sucked.
how much? We got a foot and a half of snow.
14 inches
Yeah.
in like less than about 24 hours.
Maple Grove right down the road got 22 inches.
Yeah, that's like stupid ridiculous. Like literally, I
nuts.
went back home to Friday. I couldn't finish my session with you because I was so sick.
Yeah.
I went home.
You looked ill, man.
I was.
Pale as fuck.
But even had I wanted to do anything, I literally could not have left my house on Friday night, all of Saturday until Sunday, like evening. Like the snow was that bad.
I had
gnarly.
I had to drive Saturday. My buddy had a going away party. He's getting deployed here, and he lives maybe 10 minutes from me. It took me 45 minutes to get there.
It's ridiculous.
And I got stuck behind a snowplow, and it was blowing all the snow out. I literally could not see a thing. It was awful.
Well, he drives Alec drives a truck.
I drive a truck, and it still was.
Sucked.
Nope.
Yeah,
no
I got
thanks.
stuck in my driveway, so I was the guy that like was shoveling, just pissed, and I said, "That's it. This is it. This is the last one. I'm not
Fuck
doing this
it.
shit anymore." Now it's 70 and sunny outside.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Less than a week later, like it goes from like pure blizzard and
Like
they
no,
shut down the
these were whiteout conditions. Like
yeah.
Google, like was like, "Oh, severe snowstorm is in effect. We have
Yeah.
a blizzard warning. Stay indoors."
Yeah, they're
the
like,
Google Home.
Don't leave your house because you might die.
Yeah.
it was
Might.
crazy too. It's bad. So I flew out. This all hit on Saturday.
It
Yeah,
started
tell us about your
Friday
experience
night.
with Chicago, Jeff.
No,
the Chicago
yeah,
airport.
Chicago. Fuck, that was awful. So we got hit with the snowstorm, and they never shut down Minneapolis Airport. Minneapolis Airport actually got shut down.
Yeah, that's
I'm
how
like,
bad.
oh, this is great. So we're flying out because my band was we're doing a new record currently, and we had to go to York, PA, or Hartford, Connecticut, York, whatever, Philly, that area, that region.
Philly.
It's all kind of like the same shit. Anyway, so we made it when we're sitting in the airport. Chris and my plane got delayed 3 to 4 times, and he just kept his phone kept pinging like, your flight's delayed another hour, and we sat there all day at the airport. Finally made it to Chicago. Once we were in Chicago, there was like a 2-hour line just to go up to LA to like, what are we doing? Had to get a flight or a hotel that night, cross our fingers, wake up 3 to 4 hours later to get a 7 a.m. standby to try to get to Hartford. And
Did they put you guys in a hotel?
I'm sorry, what do I keep saying?
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg. Jeez, Harrisburg. And flight was full. Of course, everyone was there. It was a packed flight. So I'm like, dude, what can we do? And this guy was awesome. He's like, hey, man, you got like 30 minutes. Run down to the other end of the airport. American Airlines, there's a flight. You got 2 seats. Here's your tickets. I was like, yes. So we scored those, and we finally got to Harrisburg. 40-minute drive from Harrisburg to the studio. Then I was in York, PA. Got the drums done on the new record. Got a little sample of a new
You
song.
bang those out fast because like the first day you're like, oh, got 4 songs done today. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, it was stressful though, man. It was all day. So, and it's hard too because we're like still working on melodies and parts. But I think this record's gonna be sick. I'm super pumped. Working with Carson and Grant. Those guys are great. And yeah, the production team's cool. We hung out with the guys in the band live. A lot of people know them. Chad's the main guitar player of the band live, so it's his studio. Great experience, crazy stories. So yeah, it was fun, man. I'm excited to bring this to people, and it's gonna be, I think, our best record that we've done. So should be fun. But yeah, then coming back was a breeze. It was like, my problem is at 4 a.m. I had to get an Uber. Dude picks us up, drives us 40 minutes to the airport, hopped on my flight. I was back in Minneapolis by 10 a.m. And then slept the entire day because I was wiped out. But yeah, so anyway, that weather sucks. I'm pumped now. It's sunny out.
And
About
just
damn time.
Yeah, we still have huge snow drifts. Even though, like
Yeah,
you were
it's
saying
crazy.
earlier, it's been baking in 70-degree weather. It's gonna
and
be
there's still
80 coming
piles
up,
of
and
snow,
like
and it's
literally
yeah,
like mountains.
Yeah, it's like 70+ degrees out and sunny, and there's still snow.
That's pretty ridiculous. But well, let's start with a question here.
Yeah,
because
we got one from our dude Bobby Janso. So we got a question. He says the title was "How do you avoid it?" And I'll read it out. I can read the whole thing. It says, "Hey guys, I was just like, I think he just started listening to like the older episodes or whatever.
That's awesome. Like, that's why we have him on there.
That's right.
Like,
yeah, I appreciate it, man. He said, "Hey guys, I was just listening to the episode on mental health. This goes more towards the end of the podcast where you talk about getting out of the negative situation and avoiding negative people. So I'm working on my own projects to get away from the 9-to-5 bullshit life, but for now I have to put up with it till my projects take off. What is your advice to avoid the negative coworkers? You know, the ones who always complain, always upset about everything at work or home. Life isn't fair. Poor me, bullshit, whatever. Without coming off like a dick. I still have to work with these people for the time being, so I don't want to be in an environment where I can't even talk to people, if that makes sense. So probably not creating like a hostile environment.
It completely makes sense. Yeah.
So we totally loud and clear. Great question. Advice I could give is, you know, use that. I mean, again, like you're already transitioning your thought process of, I need to get out of this 9-to-5. You know, I know he has a wife and a kid. Even if you do or you don't, you know, obviously the family's riding on, you know, income and whatnot. But I would just say lead by example. You know, the thing is, people talk a lot, but your actions always, you know, kind of present a louder presence in the room. And when you just start, if there's a way you can block these people out, maybe start engaging with them in a different way, talking about their life, and maybe when they start bringing up something negative, turn the conversation into a positive. I mean, that to me would be a good idea. You know, but I think people are drawn to other people that are positive and go-getters. So if he's doing that, you know, maybe get people involved that he works with, talk about, you know, not just the weather and like their family shit. It's more like, you know, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, what are your hobbies? You know, things like that. So creating a good environment, and body language is huge, man. I mean, people know you don't even have to say anything. And people can tell you're being a dick based on body language too.
Well, he's dealing with what I call the Eeyore complex.
Yeah, we've talked about that
many times. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that is. It's just negative people creating a negative vibe, and nobody wants to be around it. So I guarantee that if you know, you don't like them, then other people at work don't like them. I mean, or there's probably a shared thing there.
Yeah, I mean, here's how I look at it, and you break this shit down. It's like, to me though, when I get people like that around me, that motivates the shit out of me even
to get
more.
Out.
To not only get out, but to show them, like, not that I'm better than you, but like, dude, you're so negative that it's almost like it's laughable at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, your life's not bad. You're not dying of a terminal illness. You've got a family, and it's like, you made the decision to be negative. You made the decision to work in a factory and fucking hate your life. I don't feel bad for people like that at all. Like, I made the decision to do certain things, but you know that, like, now you run your own business, you're doing your thing, and then we work even harder, you know? So I just feel like, to me, that just gets me more fired up in a weird, fucked up way, where I hear those stories. I mean, I don't know about you, but that does for me. And I just go, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you so negative? And then people are like, well, like, I got a wife and 2 kids and a 9-to-5. It's like, well, you decide to do that. Like, that was your choice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in a non-confrontational way, though, I think is what he's asking. And, you know, body language can kind of help with that.
For sure.
Know, if they're really being that annoying and that negative and that mopey, then you can kind of close off your body language a little bit. But I would say the most positive thing to do in that situation is steer the conversation towards a more positive direction. Like,
totally.
Acknowledge what they say, oh, that sucks, man, but like, look at this, and then, you know, maybe swing it somewhere else and try to get them on a positive note, because that is also infectious.
I agree with that. I also say, like, you're not being a dick, but maybe being honest. Mm-hmm. Honesty is different from being a dick. Being a dick is like you're going out of your way to be rude.
People take it different ways, though.
Totally.
People take honesty like being a dick.
And the thing is, though, tough shit. Like,
I'm with you, but right? Yeah, but you know, maybe not for this environment.
But at the same time, though, maybe that's what they need to change their thinking. And he or whoever this individual is, if they constantly are being negative day in and day out, be like, hey, man, like, your tone, delivery, like, to be honest, like, every day you complain about working here, maybe you need to reevaluate what you're doing and, like, think about your life. Like, you're spreading negativity to others, and if you're honest with people, they can't really fault you for that, because it's fact. It's what you're doing.
It is. Yeah.
So to me, I would say you can go that route as well. But if you deliver it in a very positive way, you're not like yelling at them. You don't have to raise your voice, but sometimes that is what can like light the fire under people's ass to go, oh shit, like I need to look in the mirror and realize like I'm a negative person. I always bring it up. I'm raining on everybody else's day. Maybe I should like pump the brakes a little bit. So I mean, that's how I roll. I mean, if I notice people are like that,
I agree with that.
out,
It's I mean, yeah, they might even thank you for it. Like I would
I've had
probably,
people
yeah. It all depends on the individual and how they are willing to receive that. But
Totally.
that is a good way to kind of stop it. Like, hey man, like let me be honest. You know, you have been really negative every day.
Yeah.
But I can understand if he doesn't want to come off and start that confrontation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think too many people in society tiptoe around shit. And it's like, I don't know, people that are successful in this life, they don't tiptoe. They go straight to the point. And again, it's not being rude. Like, if you take it as rude, I can explain it. Like, being rude is like literally like name calling someone for no reason, you know, or doing something that has no positive reinforcement. To me, it's like, that's honesty. You're just giving them, you know, and now how they take it, that's not your responsibility.
That's true. Yeah.
If they take it as like, he's an asshole, I'll be like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just being honest with you. And honesty is different. And that's how I would roll with it. I mean, you know, if you have to work with this person day in, day out, like kind of feel it. Every situation is going to be different, but you got to kind of feel your crowd. I mean, dude, there's people that, you know, say I'm a little intense or whatever. And I'm like, cool.
Intensity's good, though.
They're entitled to their opinion, but honestly, then I'm like, great, that's awesome. But I would rather have someone say to me, like, you know, be more honest and say, hey, man, you're really mean to these people, you know? And I'd be like, oh, shit, maybe I need to think about that, you know? Because people just kind of do their thing. Don't you agree? What do you think there, man bun?
In what I think is
Fucking spit guard.
You're right there.
Don't spit in the mic.
I'm not trying not to. I'm just getting excited on this episode.
Attitude is everything for sure.
Yeah.
If you wake up in the morning, you know you're going into a hostile work environment. I think it comes to a point where you're like, oh, well, I expect it. You can't really get upset. You can't really get upset about it anymore. It's to the point where you can interact with the people, and if it's a negative interaction, you can't really be too surprised about it. So why let it bother you? So I think just going in with a positive attitude. If people want to pick up on that, they can.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's just been happening so often all the time, why let it bother you if you know it's it's inevitable?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is like piggybacking off that too for Bobby is like, dude, this should be like your fuel to like light the fire under your ass. So whatever you're telling us that you have your side hustle, you should
which is good, by the way, that you have that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he's doing, I don't care what it is. I just think the point is the negative Bill or Bob who's in your office that's negative every day.
Yep.
That is your like golden ticket to be more successful in your side hustle, which will become your full hustle.
Right.
So you have to use negative as your energy or your positive reinforcement source to basically get out of this 9-to-5 quote unquote bullshit situation you're in even quicker. So I look at it like, man, you should be thankful for those negative people, because if everyone was happy and loving life, you're like, oh, maybe I like this 9-to-5. I don't know, you know, but
it's a means to an end, and I think that at the end of the day will make it more tolerable.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, you know, being the nerdy practical person I am, I'd be like, maybe like, you know, talk to a financial planner and actually set a goal. Say, hey, like within a year or 2 years, I'm going to hit this amount of money, and that will allow me to do X with my side business and therefore take more time off or leave the job completely.
That's what I did. Yeah.
But basically having a goal in sight that every day you get to mark off your calendar and work towards that can be huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's no difference in this, and I'm directing it at Bobby, but I know him personally. So it's like when you have fitness goals, you need to attain your fitness goals similar to your personal lifestyle goals. Like there's no difference. Yeah. There's no difference here. You're just freaking working out. So like, and eating. So now apply those same principles and dedication that you have. You take your supplements, you post it on the internet, you talk about your workout regimens, you work out. I train with the guy. So it's like that attitude needs to be portrayed in your side hustle tenfold, like, and your business to get out of your 9-to-5 and whatever you're doing. And
also taking it as okay, if he works 8 hours a day and he knows it's a shitty environment, use the time that he has at work to be productive and think about and use the time that he has while he's there, instead of being all bummed out about it and shit, to use the time there to put towards what he wants to do. Where instead of being like, oh, I fucking hate my job, well, I have this amount of time here where I'm really not doing a whole lot. Well, now I can start planning for, the side hustle that I do have and taking X amount of time to do that instead of just moping around for 8 hours at the job he's at.
Yeah, the one thing is too is depending on, not to get too detailed into this, but if you can't do that at your 9-to-5 job, then what you need to do is you need to write down, hey, I just took 8 hours of my life to make money for this 9-to-5. That means you need to bust your ass even harder when the 9-to-5 is done for the day. So when you go home, even though you have a wife and kid, you need to dedicate even more time to your side hustle, because you probably can't go into doing things for that during your 9-to-5 because your boss is like looking at what your productivity is and shit like that. So he needs to make sure that you got to work harder on the off hours. So you want to go spend time with family? Nope. Can't do it. Sorry, dude. That's pulling away from your 9-to-5.
Yeah, because
you're getting out of the 9-to-5.
Because it's funny how much you can actually get done in a small amount of time. Like, you don't need 10 hours a day to make shit happen.
Right.
Like, if you really get down to it, an hour, 2 hours, you can bang out a lot of shit.
You can get a lot of shit.
Like what was it? Yesterday, the other day, we in like 45 minutes.
That's some good shit.
In 45 minutes, we figured out everything we were going to do for like 8 pieces.
Yeah.
In like 45 minutes.
And it usually doesn't happen that quick.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. No.
Sometimes we're like bashing our heads against the wall. But hey, do you mind handing me that new Bang flavor that just came out? I'm really thirsty right now.
A new Bang flavor. He's actually requesting. Wait, can you say the name of the new Bang flavor?
What's it called? Cherry Blade Lemonade?
Cherry
Blade Lemonade.
Is there like shards of blades in there? I don't know.
I will hand you your drink, Jeff. I will hand you your drink, but I'm going to hand you a question first.
Yeah.
All right, so we're actually going to... I hope that answers the question.
I think it does. I mean, again, I'm really like into this kind of stuff because I'll be honest, like I know him personally, but this is to anybody... I did work the 9-to-5. I did work the corporate world, and there's a means to an end with that. Like, if you're okay doing that, that's fine. But just realize, like, you have a ton of sacrifice out of the 9-to-5. That's what I like. Reality will sink in. Like, whatever your side hustle is, you need to bust your ass 10 times harder, because if things will, get in the way of that, like going to do some family stuff, you might have to juggle that schedule around and reprioritize your stuff. Like, I can't go do this. The sooner you can put more investment and time into that side hustle, the quicker you're going to get out of your 9-to-5. It's that easy. So
work hard now so you don't have to do shit later.
Yeah. I like working though, so
yeah.
I'm a weird one. But hopefully that answered your question, Bobby, and I'll see you at the gym, dog. And if you want to ask me more about it in person, I mean, I'm all about it. So make sure, guys, send your questions to podcast@ironingfitness.com, and we are open books, and we'll hopefully give you some good info on it. But what do we got for today's topic? Let's get that bang cracking.
I will. Today's topic, the question first. I'm going to talk. Okay, so today's topic, we're going to go about pop culture. Because I know that you love... Okay, so Jeff, you're a closet nerd. Actually, I don't even know if you're a closet nerd.
No, I kind of...
You're just kind of a nerd. Yeah, you're just like a superhero nerd.
Yeah, I like it.
What's coming out?
Infinity Wars in 2 days.
And why are you excited to see that? I'll hand you your bang while you answer that.
Thank you. No, I'm just pumped because... I mean, dude, it's like I grew up. I literally was at my parents have like boxes of comic books. I had the custom sleeves too.
Fuck yeah.
The see-through. Like right now, my bangs are. That's a shameless plug right there. So, yeah, I got all my comics. My brother and I collected comic books, and I got out of that. We collected baseball cards, basketball cards, but the comics were the shit. That was the best, and it's cool when I was a kid and now being an adult, seeing that all of that stuff is coming to the big screen and coming to life. And then Marvel's just crushing it. DC is struggling a little bit, but just, with Deadpool, like, that's crazy how that's so popular. But what was funny is everyone was, like, even the studios were like, you can't make a movie off this. And then Ryan Reynolds was like, nope, this will be huge.
Well, because it's him as a person.
Yeah.
As a superhero. And it's so awesome.
And it's great, too, because... that's how Deadpool is in the comics, but the studio is clueless. And then he and I think the director, out of their own pocket, did a running trailer, and that's how Deadpool actually caught on because it went viral. and then it created this huge ordeal. Now they're on the second one, but Infinity War's coming out, and then I just saw today. I know Elliot brought it up, and it was funny, and I apologize. I didn't know what he was talking about.
For what?
When we did the little highlight reel, and he was like, "Is Venom a symbiote?" Blah blah. And I was what the fuck is he saying? And I didn't realize like 2 weeks later he was talking about the comic character Venom, which I know everything about that.
Tom Hardy too.
Yeah,
God
I saw
damn.
it. I know it's a good actor, but I saw the full trailer today, and I was like, it was okay. A character I loved, and they actually did the movie, and it was a huge hit. It was not that good, but they're rebooting it. Is Todd McFarlane is the comic character who created Spawn. So Spawn is like the devil. Have you ever heard of Spawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So John Leguizamo plays like the bad guy, and they did a movie years ago. They're redoing that, and everyone's kind of up in arms because like in the new Venom trailer, like Tom Hardy actually turns into the Venom, and they show his face, and it's like almost a rip of what Spawn looks like. It looks too similar, but it looks okay. I mean, I'm hoping they can do something with it. I did see like the newest Spider-Man. It was cool. I felt it was good.
I think I saw that with you, actually.
Homecoming?
Yeah.
Homecoming?
No, I saw that.
Yeah,
It was
and it
decent.
wasn't bad because they went back to when he was in high school. Like Peter Parker was a high school kid. He's like a kid. So I like how they're going more the original story. Then obviously fucking Iron Man hops in. So all these movies are tying together. And I'm just stoked because Thanos is the main bad guy. And finally he's in Infinity War. So should be good, man. I mean, they spent it was the highest or the most highest budget ever in movie history is the 2 Infinity Wars because there's 2 parts. It's part 1 and 2.
So part 1's released, and
that's coming out. This Thursday.
Gotcha.
So part 1 Infinity Wars, and then there's Infinity War part 2, and then there's 2 parts to it. But they spent 1.2 billion.
Well, that like
just the movies are
so much
like they
money.
spent like $2 billion.
Think of it too, like just like the CGI cost that they have to do on that. That's what's racking
Josh
that
Brolin
up.
Isn't even like he never even saw what he was gonna look like until like the movie was done, until he watched the movie because he's massive, like purple looking thing, but it's not really him. So it's his face with makeup on, but like the rest of him is CGI.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just wearing like that spandex green outfit
and he's
type
got like
situation.
just the helmet on.
Yeah.
But dude, that's crazy though that he's 2 major bad guys in 2 huge superhero movies. Like he's the bad guy in Deadpool and he's the bad guy in this.
Well, we can talk about this too because
God,
there's
I'm
like
a fucking nerd. Holy shit.
Well,
there's a debate though.
The thing about that is it's not
I like that.
nowadays with everything. It's
You've never tasted it?
I have, but it just didn't tickle. It didn't, as Corey Willoughby says, it doesn't blow my skirt up.
It's
It
not.
did right now. It's blowing it up.
There's
slightly.
nothing nerdy about enjoying those movies anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Well, now it's cool.
it's cool. So
Do you guys remember? Hold on. Do you guys remember the game Skyrim?
yeah.
yeah.
That
I
came
never
out?
played it
yeah.
though.
Okay, so like everyone
Parasite.
like when I was in high school, at least it was like World of Warcraft and all this stuff,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like nerd or whatever. And then
sure.
when Skyrim came out, the coolest people you never thought would touch a video game were fucking obsessed with
Yeah.
it. It's like it's becoming the norm.
I think what's interesting now is like that. What's it? Fortnite is the free one.
Fortnite, yeah.
Everyone's because it's like what's making stuff cool, and this brings back culture is hip hop. So like how many hip hop artists and rap artists play video
sports
games,
athletes,
or athletes play video games, or they're into the movies, you know. And I think now it's just more accepting. It's just cooler now, you know. So
I was always just NHL. I loved playing like Tiger Woods and then Call of Duty. That was like and Assassin's Creed. I love that shit. Intimate killing people. Fuck yeah.
See, I did
awesome.
for a couple, and then I'm like, I don't like the whole.
Jumping off rooftops
cool.
and shit is.
I like it.
But the movie sucked.
I was
so
I was
disappointing.
so stoked when I was like, wow,
God.
there's an Assassin's Creed movie. And then Michael Fassbender.
Brutal.
I couldn't even get through it.
No, it was
like,
really
I fell
bad.
asleep.
what you're excited for the zombie video games? That's where you get your kick.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a Call of Duty guy because it's easy. You fire it up, you play a deathmatch round. It doesn't suck up your whole day, and you're like, cool, and then you just shut it off.
For some people.
For some people.
Your eyes are just bleeding. Out of your skull.
You have like 8 days logged in.
Yeah.
The game came out like 6 days ago.
Yeah, man.
How is that possible?
I know. It is fun, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that can suck up time.
Oh, God,
so
yeah.
I try not to let it take up too much of my time.
I'm not gonna lie. In high school, like me and my buddies, we would, especially during the summers, where we would be up till like 4 a.m, all playing together.
Dude, you know what the game was? You know what the game was when we did that back in the day? I might be dating myself right now. Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
No, that was I do.
Yeah, that was the jam, dude. That was like the first legitimate first-person shooter where people were like, oh shit, this is a game changer. Like at that time, there was no real good first-person shooter. Boom, GoldenEye comes out.
I think Halo was the next one to do it.
Halo was popular.
Yeah. But it was funny with that how you could only really you could have 4 people playing at once, but for us, it would be like all the hockey guys growing up. We'd all be at one person's house, like when all our parents got together and swapping out people. Yeah, you'd have to sit and wait. Be like, God damn it!
It's like a line change. It's practice.
Yeah, I gotta wait.
So nerdy.
I gotta wait to play because there's 20 guys there, all wanting to play and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Well, what was the thing? Now, one of my buddies, Pete Rage, he told me, hit me up. He does lights.
Pete Rage?
He goes by that. It's his stage because he's an EDM guy.
Okay.
He's now on tour with Metallica and Gojira.
Nice.
So he does lights for, if you like metal, Gojira. He's their like firework guy. Sick. So I think of Danny McBride and Travis. He's like, light it up, boom, and like the flames go flying. That's like Pete.
And then explodes.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, this is legit. Like it's as big as it gets. He's in New Zealand right now, Australia, doing their lights. So let's just say he's killing it. But he was telling me, so he has this really cool custom like light rig, like over the top.
Nice.
He's like, dude, guess what event I did? I'm like, what's it? He goes, a video game tournament. I'm like, what? And I saw like there was like a reality show or something on it. He's like, dude, these guys they have like porn star girlfriends. Like they roll up to the venue and it's like TMZ, like flash bulbs, red carpet. It's these young, like nerdy dudes.
And they make so much money.
Yeah, and they're like, they have their special niche, right? Like this guy is the single stripped down sniper rifle, can take anyone out in COD. And he'll like jumps in tournaments and it's like $500,000 tournament.
Oh yeah, these people, like I watched a documentary about like their profession. Did you know that they can get sports visas now?
Yeah.
For those guys?
Yeah. And so now what's crazy is a lot of people associate like unhealthy. These dudes are mega healthy because what they're doing is they're saying if your mental is there, your physical it's a combo plan. Mm-hmm. So they're hiring like personal trainers.
Yeah, to come train them in the middle of their practice sessions.
Like, they're like working on their hand-eye coordination because they're on a controller. Yeah. I'm like, dude, this is so sick. So these guys have like smoking hot girlfriends. They're making like 6 figures plus.
Playing video games.
Playing vids. And then the trainers are like, oh, that's my one client. Because he's so rich. Yeah. He's like, I train Mike 7 days a week for tournaments for like, hand-eye coordination. It's crazy. So, I mean, that just shows like anything's a career, anything's a possibility now. But, I mean, I don't know if I want to go. Oh, but the fucked up thing, speaking about fitness, is that he was telling me, he's like, dude, it's crazy. It's like going to a rock concert, right? So people are tuning in all over the world watching
on
these
Twitch?
guys.
Oh, yeah.
On like Twitch, right? But now supplement companies are jumping in because like Monster Rockstar isn't cutting making the cut anymore. They're like, give me pre-workout.
I know, like these guys drink pre to before matches.
And they're just sitting
so
there
focused.
They're just laser sharp, dude, just wired. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that'd be cool. I actually want to kind of go to one just to see what it's like because it'd be just awesome just to like witness that.
It'd be so funny.
Some I have no clue what's going on and just these people are making money doing
millions tuning in.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway,
isn't it crazy to think that there's some people out there that are that good at that, like that good at Call of Duty that you can make
and not
dollars?
Really.
It's weird to me that like, I don't know that I mean video games are interesting.
Because one of my cousins, he is unbelievable at Call of Duty.
It's like scary.
I'm like, how do you get that good? Like you have to. You're like born to do that. To like, and his fingers, he's just got the fastest trigger fingers, and you're just watching him. It's like fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because you're like, and the sensitivity is like all the way up, and he's just. I'm like, you can't even see what's actually going on.
Yeah, it just shows like whatever you dedicate your time and life to, you can obviously be pretty damn good. I mean, it's the same when we were in the studio with Carson and Grant, watching this guy like click. He's like a ninja on like the Pro Tools and like to make a record. You're like, what is this guy visioning? And it's like they're 10 steps ahead of the curve,
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting though. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get tickets for this Thursday, even though it's gonna be like the front seat because I looked just today and
it's gonna be nuts.
They're all sold out. Like, fuck.
Speaking of other movies, we saw the other day
Super
Troopers 2.
Fucking awesome! It was so good.
I was not disappointed whatsoever.
It was way better than the first one.
So goddamn funny.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they added Canadians to the mix.
Yep.
That just made it that much funnier because The accents were embellished, adding the French Canadian accent to it. Oh my God, Farva was just
he was
just every single time he was on screen was saying something ridiculous, and it still had that vibe of the first one where there was like some inside shit to it and whatnot, but I was laughing the whole time.
There was a part I was crying. I was laughing so hard where Farva was doing something. I liked how they made him like the focal point of the movie. It was cool. Steve Stifler, Minnesota, born and bred.
Yeah.
He was in the intro of the movie, so he made a cameo, which is cool. So that was hilarious. So if you guys get time, make sure to go see Super Troopers 2.
That was great.
That was awesome.
What about TV shows? Why don't we any good one? I know you're a TV show nerd.
Movies, TV.
You don't sleep. You take in Netflix.
Yeah. I just saw a really dope movie, but maybe it's because I like action flicks. It was Den of Thieves. Did you see it? Gerard Butler. He's like the cop from LA.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got,
his
crew, and they got like neck tats.
Yep.
He's like a, like Latino, like looks like a gang member. But anyways, like 50 Cent was a sidebar character, which he can just go away. He needs to stop acting.
Yeah.
It's just
except that one show.
Power? Yeah. He's great in Power. Yeah. But yeah, besides that movie was cool. It made me want to be a cop really bad just because it's like, dude, it's like Training Day. Like that kind of cop shit. Like where you're the badass cop, but like there's no rules in like you and your crew. So like it's free game.
I always, when I watch TV or movies, I always want to end up doing what they do. So like when I watched The Outsider with Jared Leto, I'm like, I want to join.
I started watching, dude, and I couldn't get through.
I liked it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
My client Dave said he saw it and he said it was really bad. It got like 28% on
He didn't speak a whole lot in it, which is kind of funny.
Real good acting on that
but
one.
just watching it, I'm like, I want to join the Yakuza.
How do you... The Yakuza.
I want to join the Yakuza.
Dude,
I want to become a drug lord.
Hawaii 5-0 and the Yakuza's in that. And I'm just, nah.
Like, I want to.
But I want to be... that. Actually, that's true. Because I watch Hawaii 5-0 and I'm like, I would love to be...
You still try to see them whenever you go, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii in a couple weeks. And I hope I get to run into McGarrett.
Yeah.
Or Danny.
Did you know he's Australian?
Damn it. That wrecks it for me now. Actually, that's cool.
He's Australian.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, crazy accent. Like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I watched an interview.
Has he been in any other show besides Hawaii 5-0? I don't think he has.
Yes, but I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was funny because I was watching an interview with the cast, and then he started talking, and I'm like,
dude, that's
what?
Yeah, it's most actors.
Yeah.
No, that's the actor from House. That was the first one who got me.
He's.
Oh yeah,
what?
He's British.
Yeah, you're
he's
British.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but TV shows, that's my jam. Just TV shows, movies in general. There's not a whole lot that I haven't
Jax
seen.
from Sons of Anarchy, he's British.
Charlie
Hunnam?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll sum it up for you. Anyone who's a good actor, they're not from the U.S. Yeah. They're always British, Australian, they're something else.
Yeah.
I've noticed that trend.
I showed Jeff.
Music too. Bands as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Notice that? Metal bands, rock bands, you're like, oh, they're from the U.S.? Nope, they're from New Zealand.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Alternate Carbon.
So I'm 2 episodes deep on Altered Carbon.
What do you think? You're kind of a sci-fi nerd?
I'm a huge I'm writing a sci-fi book. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd.
When are you dropping this book, dude? When is the book tour?
It's actually coming along really well. No, I gotta like...
I'm about 700 pages deep. I'd be like,
going for
135,000 words. That's what I had written that I'm just re-editing now, and the re-edit's almost done. Gonna get feedback and then start querying, and it'll be...
What does querying mean?
It means like I
have shopping it, basically.
Yeah, like pitch it to different agents, saying, "Hey, like I read this about your bio. You did this book. Mm-hmm. Here's a little summary of mine. Here are the first 10 pages. You want more?"
So I have a question about your query. How does
you made that sound
like that? So how do
about your query?
Tell me more about your query. What I'm wondering is if you write a book, now you go to this agent, he's like, dude, this is like the next Harry Potter.
Yeah, that would be sick.
What protects your shit? Or, like, what protects your query? Like, does he...
I can't stop laughing without you saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what if I'm an agent and I'm like, dude, this guy's query is popping. I'm going to make a series out and make millions of dollars.
I'm going to steal your first 10 pages and make my
own.
Is
that like a copyright infringement?
No. So that's...
You might want to do your research on that, Colin.
I did. I used to have that fear. Technically, once you send something, once you have written it, it is yours. You have it copyrighted. You don't need to do something for it. Okay. Plus, like, also, okay, even let's say they read the first 5 pages and they love the premise and they're like, this is going to be the next Harry Potter. It's going to pop off. I'm going to steal this. It's like, they still aren't going to come up with the rest of the fucking book. Like, they weren't you.
Well, so you have record of
you writing it and sending it.
Yeah. Wait, this came out then? But I wrote this. I started writing this 2 years ago, and I have documentation of all that.
So it's like, yeah, it's a worry, but those guys are like, they're so professional. They literally read hundreds and hundreds of those a week. It's like, it won't.
Yeah, I mean, I read a couple books, or I'm reading a book on a plane. I'm getting back into that wheelhouse or that world. I like reading. It chews up a ton of my time, especially on flights. Oh, I hate flying. I'm like, I was so into my book right now. So,
but wait, Altered Carbon.
Yes.
Yeah,
back to Altered Carbon. So I'm too deep. He just okay. So the last scene was he banged like the dude he's serving, his girl, like his wife or whatever, and then like she like approached him in that like cool hotel room that's like all digitally generated, and then she has like in her sleeve she's like she excretes some kind of drug from the street, and that's what she was telling him about. And I mean like that's where I'm in the show, and it ended, but I need to watch episode 3 and finish that
the
up,
actor's good. It's a dude who played RoboCop. That movie sucked. I was stoked on that.
But he was in The Killing.
No, he's a good actor. He was in The House of Cards.
Yep.
The Killing, it was funny. He played like a white trying to be like hood guy, which
and just super skinny, and now he's just jacked as fuck in this. But I think it might be one of the best shows I've seen in a while. Just everything about it is the cinematography is crazy. The plot it's just I haven't seen anything like it.
It's introducing a lot of new actors and actresses too. I like that.
Really cool.
Yeah, and what's nice is it's very refreshing, because a lot of the time with TV shows and movies, it's just all regurgitation. And you're like, well, I've seen that movie and it's basically the same as this. This is very, very original.
Well, it reminds me of Total Recall meets like Blade Runner. We kind of like that. And Matrix. Like, take those 3 and push it together. That is Altered Carbon. So I'm kind of like, it's cool, but it's kind of ripping those ideas. But I mean, it's slightly altered. So.
Going back to like querying for a second. So that's actually funny you said that. That's how like the agents expect you to do that. They say like, this book is like House of Cards meets Blade Runner, but that doesn't make any sense. But I'm just saying, like, they expect you to like, they want to know where in the wheelhouse your thing is, and it goes for like, no idea is necessarily original anymore. It's actually funny because there are only 6 types of stories. Any story you've ever heard in your entire life.
I tried to throw a curveball, and he goes, "Nope, it's that." And I'm like, "Shit."
Yep. Any story you have ever heard, I have to look it up. But like, one is like the quest. So Lord of the Rings. Like there you go. It's the classic quest. One is like overcoming the monster, and one is like that's Lord of the what is it called? Star Wars, the Evil Empire.
Yeah.
It's like the transformation of self. And they can be one or they can be a mix, but it will always, always, always be one of those 6.
Sure.
And so like that's interesting because people take concepts and, I think that's what people want nowadays is they don't want the same regurgitated stuff, the thief with the heart of gold, the buff man who wants to get back in shape and fight. Like all these cliche characters.
The stuff now that's really doing well, and this is like with books and Netflix, is documentaries. Like what I got myself and I got Cade into it. We watched an episode when he came over, and I'm like, dude, this is so sick. It's called The Re-Up, where it's like it's all hip hop related. So I'm a huge music guy, but each episode is about a different artist. So like episode 1's about Logic,
and it
was so sick. Like behind the scenes, it's 1 hour of like, who is this dude? Why is he such a big name in hip hop? What's his background? What's currently going on? And it's current, like right now. Another one, 2 of my favorite rappers, Nas, he's a legend, and Dave East, who's a newer rapper, but he's like our generation of Nas, right? So the 2 of them meet up in this show, and they're on episode 3. And then there's another rapper on episode 2 and 4. And so it's really cool to like have like the hip hop world, because it's so culture and clothing and lifestyle and all this. And they're like really diving into these artists like behind the scenes. And I have been geeking out on that show.
That's cool.
So that's a Netflix original actually. And G-Eazy was an episode. So, he's huge right now. And, that was really cool, kind of like hearing his story and it actually, like, it's super motivating too, man, because these people, everyone's like, oh, G-Eazy has it made because everyone knows of him right now. Dude, that guy has been doing it for kind of like my band. We've been around for, I think, 12, 13 years. He didn't blow up till 15 years in the game. 15 years this dude kept going.
YouTube, wasn't it?
And the one thing that made him, like, change everything to get what he wanted was YouTube. And now, obviously, he's a name.
It's the exact same thing with authors. It's like, oh my god, like, wow, this guy wrote this. Oh, holy shit, he's been writing for 20 years.
Yeah,
like sure. What? And he just wrote something. Yeah.
And so, you know, I was just saying that was really cool, but it's also really motivating because you're like, and he even talks about it. He's like, people think like I went from 0 to 100. He's like, no, dude, I bet. And they actually had the original footage of him first time in LA, like super young. I mean, he's only like, I think 30 something maybe, but it was when he was like 18, right? And he's on the corner and he's like, someday my name's going to be up there. And then they showed it, that same street corner, fast forwarding like 10 years down the road, and he's like on the side of the billboard. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sick. And then they showed him there, and he's just looking, he's like, I told you this shit was going to happen. So he always, no matter what was cool is he never thought differently. He thought even when he was a nobody, no one gave a shit, he was going to be the biggest thing around.
Yeah, power of thought is just
power of thought, man.
Huge.
It's true. Like, I mean, his music's way better now than it was, but it's like, if you're just like, and this is cool because this correlates to anything. If you just have that slow and steady growth, and if you have that graph and it's going in an upward slant, like that's what he did, but it's sticking with it. And I think most people in life, they actually would be successful, but they quit. They stop doing what they're doing.
Consistency. That's what we talk about all the time.
And it's like, dude, if you would have stuck around and did this shit for 2 more years, you'd have been doing it as a career. There's an
old, really, because I'm a nerd. Yes, there's an old story about like drilling oil and striking it rich, or mining gold and striking it rich. I think this is from a gold mine, like the gold rush in California.
Yeah.
This farmer like owned his land, bought a piece of it, and he like mined for gold for months or years, and he was mining, getting nothing. He's like, fuck it, it's empty, whatever. He sold it. A person comes in, and 2 days after they buy it, strike like the biggest gold mine in the entire era. If he had just kept going, he would have been a multimillionaire for like another day or two. And it's crazy because people need to stay the course.
Yeah, that's my favorite, like, coin, stay the course, man. Like, I don't know, there you get your ups, your downs, your curveballs, your setbacks, your push forward, like success, failure, but I think that's actually, I know it. It's not, I think this. It's a fact that people just don't stick with their shit. And it's like, just do it and keep doing it.
There are signs, like, there are definitely, like, if you're unhappy, like, stuff like that, we talked about, you need to, like, find something and change that.
Or if you're doing it, like, another thing, it doesn't always boil down to money, but if you're in debt and now you're in further debt, and then further debt, it's like, dude, clearly you're doing something wrong here.
Yeah.
So you need to reevaluate what you're doing. But I think besides that.
Yeah, but if, like, you're staying, like, afloat and you still enjoy what you're doing and you're trying, it's like, yeah, you gotta mix it up. You gotta keep trying because something happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you need to believe 110% in what you're doing.
That's the strongest thing.
100%, like not a question in your mind whatsoever.
What?
Put on vibrate. Ping. That was your phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not ever having a question of what your potential is.
Yeah,
and just letting that just continue to drive you down the road. Because if you have 100% passion and you believe in what you're doing, then
there's no setback.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the setback.
Every single bit of growth is a win.
It
Whatever
is.
it is,
Yeah.
no matter how big, how small.
One person listening each time on this podcast is a win.
Yeah.
One more person. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and that's the thing. I think we as people lose sight of those small wins.
It is.
And that is when it steamrolls into what we're talking about, where the consistency goes away. Because you're like, oh, we only sold like 20 orders today, and a week ago it was 55. Well, clearly things are going worse. Like, no. Like, maybe people are waiting till Friday and they get paid to buy more shit, or whatever.
No, cool analogy, actually, stock market.
Yeah.
So, like, when you invest in equities, when you invest in stocks... Bang lemonade is good. But when you invest in stocks, the average growth rate is like about 7 to 8% right now of the market. Okay. But that is like taken over a snapshot of like 10 years of a long-term growth, because some years the growth will be up by like 10%, some by like 20. Others, it can plummet by 40% or just something fucking crazy. But like others, it'll go back up. So like you have to look at it in a broader snapshot. Just like with people saying they can't lose weight. Well, how long did you try your diet for? A month. A month? Were you totally consistent? Like a month isn't a lot of time.
It really isn't.
Like you have to back it up.
Yeah, I've noticed that like planning, like doing the brand, recording a record, doing certain things in life, you're kind of like, dude, 2 months is not.
It's a drop in the bucket.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's 60 maybe days.
It's 60 days.
You know, but like give or take, and you're like, that goes real quick. And
real fucking quick.
Yeah, I remember back when I was in like high school and college, because that's all you knew, right? You'd base your lifestyle based on like breaks. Like it's spring break and like
summer.
Yeah, summer's coming, and you'd freak out. But now being out of that and doing this kind of stuff, I'm like, dude, like holy crap, like, you know, it goes by real quick. So yeah, a month. I mean, when someone sticks with that, I'm like super proud of them for doing that. And like, you know, let's use like fitness or their nutrition is great, but like, dude, don't just be like, I think if there's just go for the positive vibe of like, be proud that for 1 month you did stick with this. Now let's do 2 months.
Correct. And it's 2 weeks to break a habit and then another 2 weeks to establish one. So look at a month as your baseline. Once you get that down, if you can stick with it, the next month is going to get a lot easier.
Now we're moving.
And now we're fucking moving. Now we're going.
And I think a lot of people, their perception of success has been skewed so much by pop culture, social media, everything, because they see
Give me an example. Give me something. Like, what do you mean? Like,
that's what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
Let him talk, Jeff.
I don't want
where people see, you know, these like internet sensations where they're literally one day they're nothing, they post something, and for some reason it blows up, and then they're like, holy shit, well, I've been doing this for you know 2 years, and this guy over here did it for a week, and now he's famous and has millions of dollars, so obviously I'm not doing something right, and I'm not going to be successful because it didn't happen to me. So I'm just going to give up.
But the big thing, the funniest, and like this bears repeating. I'll repeat this till the fucking cows come home. How do you maintain that success?
Yeah.
You don't. It's like I will choose consistent, steady growth every fucking time rather than becoming an overnight sensation. I get my 15 minutes of fame and then I drop off and I'm never heard from again.
Yeah, people have asked me that even too, like about the music. And I know there's a band right now, they're blowing up, called Bad Wolves. And they're blowing up because they have the Cranberries, the girl who just passed away, the singer of the Cranberries. They did a cover song of it. They're like everywhere now because that cover song is blowing up. And people are like, oh, would you want that? I'm like, honestly, I wouldn't. Like, even though that's great and all, and they're doing well, it's like you're known for a cover song. And I would rather,
something that's not yours.
Yeah, that's not mine. I'd rather be doing a cover song as a bonus, but people know the music I created because of the music I created with the guys that I'm in the band with, and that was your success, and now it's just going uphill. You know, that's like an example of that. But yeah, man, it's smoke and mirrors. It's like there's no difference from like the clothing world or fashion or fitness to, I mean, fitness is a huge joke. It's like, look at me now, look at me here. It's like, dude, there's photoshops and bullshit.
And let's call it out because we are called Iron and Ink Fitness, and I don't think we've called this out yet.
What's that?
What do you feel? What is your opinion, Jeff, when you see a picture of someone who's just a fat tub of lard, and then 60 days later they're just fucking shredded?
I mean, it's, you know, some people have have changed completely different.
In 60 days, though.
60 days, it's kind of a joke. I mean, it's got to be photoshopped. I mean, some people do have very rapid results in a short amount of time, but then they plateau, you know? So I think it's one of those, again, the fitness success is the same thing as success of a business, slow and steady growth. Like when I get clients and they're stoked that after like a week they lost a pound, and they kept it off, they're like, this is awesome. I'm like, you get it. You're mentally in the right page. I'm like, now we just keep trucking along. 1 pound leads to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, and so on and so forth. So man. I mean, when you look at those things, you don't know the hard work. I mean, who knows, dude? I've known people that have done, and they actually have lost the weight in 60 seconds, but what are you doing? Hardcore diuretics, like crazy drugs and shit.
But that's what I'm getting at.
That's healthy.
That's not real. You cannot maintain that every day. That's why I call bullshit on every picture like that. If someone is like morbidly obese and then they transform into a fitness model, that's not realistic. That change has to happen over a longer period of time.
It's the same thing where, especially with like bodybuilding competitions and thing like that, where Did I say?
Oh
say
yeah, I love it.
God damn it.
We're just gonna put that in the notes on this episode, especially
with bodybuilding competitions where that becomes a standard of what you think you're supposed to look like, but people don't realize people that step on stage like that, they're gonna look like that for a day, 2 days, maybe.
Exactly. Yep.
That's it.
They have a 2-day window where they start eating again and they puff up.
Yeah, I've done it. I looked my best post the show.
Yeah.
Yes, when you get salt in the food
and like you start eating real food again, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I'm alive. And like, yeah, man, it's not something that's healthy to maintain. I was just proud I did it to like, at that time, it was only fitness and I had just clients. And I'm like, here, guys, it's possible. Like, but it's extreme measures.
Yeah, it's like it's a self-challenge, and I get that part. Yep. And I think the biggest thing with like diets and cutting is what you were talking about. I want to look, and this is what people have to remember. I want to look this way for this amount of time.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's not I want to look like 4% body fat for the rest of my life. It doesn't fucking happen. Have you seen those guys in the off season?
Oh, they're fat as hell.
Yeah,
awful.
That's the point. Is they get to put on mass, they get huge to cut down, to step on stage, to get back off, to blow back up, to cut back down. It's such a momentary thing.
It is.
And people look at it and they see it because it's blasted everywhere. Like, if I don't look like that, I look like shit.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just, it's adding to like the disease of, social media and everyone wanting instant gratification. Yep. But it's like, whether it's, like a vacation like you're going on or a wedding I'm going to, like I would like to look good for that event. Yeah. So I know in order to do that, I need to start cutting. But like I think what's different is you want to maintain that progress, so you don't slam a bunch of diuretics and fill your body with steroids. Right. Is you just do slow and consistent growth, because that way you're able to actually maintain that after, like you can achieve that result that you can sustain that.
I mean, dude, I've heard everything, right? And then when people bitch and complain, I just let it roll off my shoulders, because I'm like, well, like you don't get it. Like you're not mentally strong. And that's what it kind of boils down to. If we're going in the fitness realm here, like talking about losing weight or looking a certain way, it's like you're not mentally focused. Like if you're on this strict diet and you can't have processed carbohydrates and you go to a restaurant, do you take the bun off the burger? Like people are like, well, I have to have the bun. No, you don't. Yeah. Get rid of it. Like those are like those little tiny hurdles that I've seen it all. And I just go, nah, you're not strong enough. You're not mentally there. And
you don't have the willpower.
And then it's a slippery slope. But I just think like I hate the complaining, and I've been doing this diet for a month and a half and I should see my results. I'm like, dude, like go credit someone else, because like I bust my ass in the gym. I do fasted cardio in the morning, I do weight training later in the evening, and work 2 jobs. It's like we're always our worst critic, but I'd always say I don't get on myself. I just make little tweaks, adjustments, like, okay, I was eating this, probably should pull that out of my diet, adjust this, up and down.
It's why we always call it a lifestyle. It's not a diet, because it truly is. It's how you have to live in order to maintain that.
For sure.
And it's like you give up a bunch of fatty foods and drinking all the time and sugary, but it's like now food is so awesome you can pretty much replace it with better tasting stuff, and it's like not even cheating.
You can get Pop-Tarts that are healthy for you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ice cream that you can get that's healthy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's great. So there's really no excuse nowadays. It's just you have to kind of, you have to meal prep. You have to get in the kitchen. You have to look at like you're gonna spend a little more money on real food. It's a sacrifice, man. It's like. Everything is the same, right? Like if it's any job you do, it's like, I can't lose weight. I go, no, you're not going to lose weight, because it's your attitude, and your attitude projects what
right there, what we were talking about, setting a goal for yourself, saying like power of the mind, I'm not going to lose weight. If you don't believe it when you start, you're already fucking done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to why you're doing it. Oh, you want to look that way? Do you think if you look that way, you're going to feel better about yourself? Nope. Are you happy with who you are as a person? No.
It's have a reason, right. Yeah.
Then
yeah, I agree, man. It's really hard, and then I see like it's almost like, I'm not saying I'm jaded, but like I saw like this really attractive girl on Instagram, and she's like has 1 million followers, and she's coming out of a gas station. She's like, I got my alkaline water because she's made up some bullshit theory, and I go, well, that's wrong. Whatever she said, she has like 500,000 views, and she's literally boobs hanging out wearing a tube top. She looks fantastic, but she's like, I'm just pumping gas and I got a bag of nuts because this is the only thing that's healthy. It's good fats. So I'm running behind, and it's like all these girls are like, need, want, I want to be you, need, and I'm like, or like be like cool, but like just do you. Yeah. Like I just, so many people get caught up in other people's bullshit that I'm like, dude, just do you thing.
I'm going to tie this back into two other things. One, I know this is going to light a fire under your ass.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Jeff, you ever heard of the real Batman?
Why do you got to bring that asshole up?
Because we're talking about superheroes, pop culture, and working
this
out.
guy, he's on. Now we're going to plug him, and people are going to scope him, and then he's going to get more
No,
hit.
this guy, okay, if you want to look at it to laugh, this dude is a fucking joke.
Yeah, he's shredded as shit, but he calls himself the real Bruce Wayne or the real Batman.
He works out 2 days a week.
YouTube him, dude.
He works out 2 days a week.
He works out 2 days a week, and he starves himself. So, but mind you, the video starts in a multi-million-dollar mansion.
From like a drone
and
4K video shot.
No shirt on, and he goes, the only thing I do is sip coffee.
No, he says he drinks water, and then he immediately contradicts himself by drinking
a cup of coffee, and he's like, dude, did you look it up? It's so funny.
It's so wrong.
No, and then look him up on YouTube, and then he I'm sure he is, but he pulls up in his Ferrari.
He's got like this smoking hot girlfriend, and it's just like he's lifting like 15-pound weights.
Yeah. No, he just tapped that. So she's in the background. He's like overlooking his
mansion, the sprawling grounds.
For hours to suppress my hunger, and
the
then he's
real
in there
Bruce Wayne.
That's
yes,
him. Yeah,
that's
he's
him.
like struggling with 30-pound dumbbells.
I know.
This guy's a clown.
It is just.
But
it's
he's
so
selling
bad.
like fitness bullshit.
I don't even know what he's selling.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Now that he's got into that.
Yeah. So, anyways, the real Batman, but. What about him though? What was your question?
I was just saying because that's tying that into superhero. Yeah, but like our point is that that's a scam. Stuff like that is just a scam, and it's just like it's stupid. It doesn't work.
He's got a rad crib.
It's not even his house.
If it's even his.
Is it his house?
No,
probably not.
If you're personal training, you're not getting a $10 million house. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't.
But
who's your client?
The thing is, man, is like that goes to anything though. If you're gonna opt into it, it's like the shake weight. I mean, I commend that guy. I think he's a fucking genius because it's like in the air jerking off, and the guy he made like millions of dollars
yes.
and like South Park made the funniest fucking episode. Like I was dying. Where they basically like spit out like your cadaver of a woman. I mean, dude, it's like what? This is so like the guys in South Park are fucking geniuses. But that episode, I was laughing so hard. That was so funny. So the point is like, if that guy's gonna trick people and they're gonna buy it. Oh, right now, what's the thing with Kevin Hart? He's got a thing where he does a fitness thing with an actor.
What the Fit? It's
called
hilarious.
What the Fit. There's a jaw. It's a jaw thing where you put it in your mouth and you go like this, and like little blades move.
The directions are all in Chinese.
And the directions are in Chinese, and they're like, what the hell? And that dude's, it's a product. He's making money, right? But people buy it. So if you buy it, man.
Is this dude for real?
I know.
Thank you. Like, that was our reaction.
It's like
is this a joke?
It's not.
When you
but
listen to it, it's pretty funny.
I would just like to push him on the ground.
No, he's like, don't eat. Eating raw.
I know, starve yourself.
Starve your body.
For 2 days, I can eat whatever the fuck I want.
Up so people can hear a little bit of it.
Not even that. But actually, okay, hold on. One more thing. While we're talking about,
light the fire, Colin.
The right way to do things, like actually getting in shape or setting a goal how you want to look. It's like actors do it too. We're talking about superhero movies. Yeah. Why do they work out with their trainers and go on those special diet? Because they need to look a certain way for a certain amount of weeks while they shoot the fucking scene.
So here's what they do. They go, Colin, you just scored the role of the new Venom. Mm-hmm. We are going to give you this check here. This check says $14 million.
Alter your life.
By the way, you have a trainer. This is Bob.
And a meal and a chef, and personal chef.
And this is your chef. So can you make that happen? I go, yeah. I don't have to.
I will do whatever you want.
So I have to be 230 pounds, 10% body fat.
Done.
How much time? 6 months. Okay. Sounds good.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, but that's a different situation because it's, you have that chef, and so they don't have to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that actors don't bust their. I mean, I've seen videos of Stallone.
They do. It's work. They bust their ass.
71, dude, and that guy is just crushing in the gym.
Or like The Rock when he got ready for the Hercules movie. That dude was eating like 2 full chickens a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god!
I mean, that's impressive. I just think the Stallone thing blows my mind. I don't care if he's running gear or not. Guy's 71 and he can like run laps on people and just he's in the gym doing this thing. I saw it. It's like he pegs in the wall, and then he goes away from the wall, like in full, like pull-up mode. It's crazy, dude. And this guy's 71. His biceps are like bigger than my head. You know? So, I mean, yeah, he gets paid a lot of money to do it, but they do put in the work. But it's a little bit different situation when you have a trainer and a chef.
It is, but that's what it's like. What we're doing here is we're dispelling the illusion for people. But that's why if you got handed a check for $20 million, exactly, they have all the tools. Everything is lined up for them. Mm-hmm. But even those actors, you know, all those like TMZ and all those shit, like shots when they're at the beach and they're fat. It's like, yeah, because they're not doing the movie.
Yeah,
like this is their off season.
Oh, how about this? Let's go into this. Yeah. Speaking of that, when it was like, I think, a thing for about a hot minute, and everyone came to their senses because they're like, this is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. When DiCaprio's dad bod was chilling on a yacht boat, and he looked like a bag of shit, and they're like, the dad bod is now in, and I go, fuck this. And I'm like, there is not one woman on the planet or guy that
anyone who says that is lying.
That looks great. And it lasted for about a week, and it was like trending where people were like, dad bod. So guys would like be like, ew, it's okay to look like shit. I'm like, really? But then men expect women to look amazing all the time. It's like, how can you do that?
Yeah, societal differences and
bullshit.
Oh my god, yeah.
DiCaprio just doesn't care. He just...
It's because he's a stud mafia. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, so...
Dude, he was Jack in Titanic.
Yeah, I know. I hated that movie.
Game over.
That movie sucked.
What?
Dude, it's not a good movie.
I loved that movie.
Nope.
I actually watched it again for a few weeks ago.
It's too bad. Get those 3 hours.
Now that we've talked pop culture and dispelled some fitness illusions, I think. Do we have anything? Anything else we want to talk about? It's a good place to end it for this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good movies coming out. I think, like, what else are we talking about? Pop culture. Yeah, I think music-wise, anything good in the music world?
Throw the fight.
You tell me. Throw the fight.
Throw the fight.
Easy. Any new records you're listening to? I know you got a lot of death metal.
You know, this goes back all the way to what Chris and I were talking about from your band, Throw the Fight. Yeah, so new music. So like I was saying, me and Chris share the same thing. So I actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's all you've heard?
Story of the Year, their new album. Like, no, I've heard like other songs. I've heard the Antidote and like all their other good ones, but like they got me onto that.
Until the Day I Die, that like the album that blew them up.
Don't know if I've heard that one yet.
It's got, like the person solo. It's called Page Avenue.
Okay, I might have heard Page Avenue, but I love the 2017 one. Wolves is great, so fucking good. So
we played with those guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That would be another band, like a full on tour. I would love. Story of the Year is like, oh boy,
they set the bar.
Good. They, especially live.
Like, their songs they're great.
They're great.
They're
songs
catchy
and,
as fuck.
Yeah, and the thing is, live they sound as good as the record, and their live performance. I mean, when you have two guitar players that can do backflips off the wall, and then Dan, the singer, can scream and then sing the high note. I'm like, while he's literally jumping up and down, I'm like, how does he do that? His cardio must be insane. But Story of the Year's rad. That's a great record. I'm gonna actually pop that in later today. It's one of those, like, it's a little bit more, like, epic, mellow, like 30 Seconds to Mars. It's not as heavy as their other stuff.
No, not as heavy, but it's really good.
Good music's good music. So
it's catchy as hell.
For sure.
After, 7 years?
7 years, yeah. Newest record, 7 years. What is another one I've been listening to? Oh, J. Cole in the hip-hop world. He dropped another one. Logic, his album's still unreal. Been really into that.
I've been listening to the new 30 Seconds to Mars album.
Dude, the album title, ridiculous.
America.
Well, and then what it says on the album cover.
I like this.
I've been Doggy 69 something.
Been listening to like This Wildlife for some more mellow stuff, just acoustic stuff.
Super good.
Yep.
They actually just got a woman said something. I saw this online today, where it went viral, where they were in someone's wedding performing. Now the two guys in This Wildlife are doing weddings.
Really?
For like, they're incredible. Like, two guys, they're like all tattooed. They're like punk rock dudes. But they're doing weddings now. And then they're getting, it's probably expensive shit, but.
Cade told me about, I don't know how, I remember them, but I hadn't listened to them in a while, but Hollow Coves, the Australian dudes. They're just like This Wildlife.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
That was your tummy grumbling.
They're insane. Super good.
Will you text me now?
Hollow Coves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll listen to that.
But then, still banging out Bless the Falls, Hard Feelings.
Mm-hmm. I'm still doing that.
But I've actually...
New Parkway drops.
Yeah.
When does that come out? I liked their first song. When does it come out, though?
You did, where he just like...
The single, yeah. I liked it.
It's okay.
Dude, I love this song.
Parkway Drive comes out. New song. Oh, Pray. They got another new jam.
Wait, another new single drops?
Oh, here we go. New track and video. Let's go. Yeah, Parkway's just pushing this new record. Oh, they're on the cover of Kerrang. That doesn't suck at all. Yeah, I don't know when the new album drops. Pretty soon here.
May.
May.
I love the song, the stripped down version, Johnny Cash, Wage War. That song's awesome.
Send us your music, guys. We want to know what you're listening to. If it's in the gym, out of the gym, we don't care. We kind of opt into everything. So send that to the podcast link. So again, we got a good question. We started the episode today.
Yep, podcast@ironfitness.com.
Yeah, can ask us anything. Shoot us music questions. Oh, and also too, we just dropped a bunch. 6 new spring items are out now. And then we also have a ton of sweet stuff that is coming up right away. So we have the whiteboard that we have listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 new items that are going to be coming out, guys. So yeah, it's going to be sick. Spring is here. Finally, the weather's good. Thank God.
Took us a blizzard and the remainder of our sanity, but we made it.
Yeah,
we're releasing a somewhat recent product, but on a new garment, which is going to be fire.
Military hoodie with the pants.
Oh yeah, the camo hoodie, man. We got a lot of DMs.
That's what I'm.
That's what he's excited for.
A little oatmeal action.
Oatmeal hoodie. Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of requests for that, so that's going to be.
Yeah, we're psyched. So we got a ton of new stuff, guys, and make sure you can use the code. What's the code?
Podcast.
Just podcast, straight up podcast, and then. Again, if you send friends or you're enjoying what we're doing, we drop an episode pretty much every week.
We do. We drop an episode every week, except for blizzards and sickness and travel.
And Colin getting,
and a new album being recorded.
But yeah, so send people our way. If you have topics or conversation, we have like a running list of categories we're already like jumping on. Mm-hmm. So we have like the next 3 to 4 episodes ready to go. So,
Twitter, get involved in our Twitter too.
Yeah, Colin runs the Twitter, so hit him up personally. He's a writer, so he's all about the tweets and
Twitter tweets, Twitter's fair. Get it around my phone.
Last words here, guys. Anything? You're getting tatted today, dog.
Yeah.
Alex just getting the crazy neck done. His
other side of the neck.
I saw that was sick. The wolf design, the Nordic wolf.
Because I feel like I'm gonna tip over right now because all the weight's on this.
On that side, it doesn't look right. It feels weird.
It feels so weird.
And then I might ask Zach to fill all this in. I was gonna actually go in today.
I'm gonna do all that out in California. I'm gonna fill that in.
Will you ask him for me today?
Zach, yeah.
Yeah, when you go in and just say, hey, Jeff wants to fill this in.
You don't have a whole lot of space.
No, not really.
Are you going to just literally like cut it off right here?
Probably.
I think you should just wear a necklace.
Just like a necklace.
White and red lightning bolt hoodies, not a whole lot of them left. So they're on sale. Yeah, so they're on sale right now. They were $50, now they're $35.
Snag them.
So grab the last few. And yeah, it's not a bad deal.
No, not at all.
No.
Colin, anything on your end? You're not
excited,
sick anymore?
Excited for spring now, finally. Excited for summer. And we got a lot of good new stuff. We got a barbecue you guys are planning hopefully sometime soon, right?
We have a grill here now. Thank you, Cade.
If you're in the area, come by.
If you're local and live in Minneapolis, we're going to probably do, the weather's great now, so we're going to have food. We'll pay for it
80 this weekend.
80 this weekend. Yeah. We're going to have food. We might have some beers. We got bang drinks. And if you want to come through, grab some gear. We'll hook you up with like a discount, but we'll make sure we'll blast that on social. We'll get all that going.
Yep.
So it's cool, man. Like a lot more community involvement is happening with the brand because people are finding out we're from Minneapolis. We're from here. And we want to kind of give back and just hang with people. It's cool, like having people just swing in and buy clothes and then shoot the shit, you know. So
yeah, for that whole barbecue idea and everything, basically, it's literally going to be in the back of the warehouse, and we're going to cook some food. And yeah, we're just going to hang out. I think we talked about 12 to 5, just hang out.
Yeah, it's kind of like normal. Work business hours. I mean, I know more people.
When we thinking like on a Saturday, Sunday in like 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, I think it would be great on a weekend. I mean, let us know, hit us up, hit me or Alec up, and what do you guys are vibing? I just feel weekend more people will come through.
For sure.
It's easier. It's like you have more freedom.
Yeah.
Weekdays kind of blow because if people do work like we talked about 9 to 5 earlier, we get it. So 5 o'clock probably wouldn't be the best option. So we'll pick a weekend, guys, and then we'll let you know. We'll go from there and. that's about it. I think we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, that sounds good. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next episode.
Hey, see ya.